Yeah, you had your.
Yeah, I was just wondering how long it took you to write the other book, and how long is this taking you?
The other book took 10 years.
Wow.
This took 5.
It's done.
And what?
This one's done.
It's done. I'm just waiting for my editor to give me notes. He got sidetracked about he got a ghostwriting book he had to do in the middle of my manuscript, so he's supposed to come back to me in June.
So it'll be published maybe the next year or so.
Hopefully it'll be published this year. Cross your fingers.
It's like a sequel to the other one, or 2 years?
No, it's not. I mean, I'm the organizing principle of it, but it's actually a spiritual memoir. But it's, it's about the worlds of love and power, and then learning that there's something else.
Yeah, well, this Mexico thing, see, because people don't understand. Because I talk to people younger than me, and I think I'm a maniac when I tell them, well, he got busted at the border for 7 seeds and 7 stamps. He wound up in Laredo, and they're like, oh, you. They don't get it because it's what happened. It's what happened.
Yeah, it's what happened.
Do you have a title?
So what?
Do you have a title?
Yeah, the title is called The Rain Man's Third Cure. So the first cure is the world of love, Texas medicine. The second cure is the world of power, railroad gin. And the third cure is the wisdom tradition. Yeah.
On the path of spiritual enlightenment, do you believe that if we service individually through our heart, we service humanity with love, compassion, forgiveness, and patience, that it will give us more empowerment to come back here quicker through reincarnation?
I don't know if we come back or not. The Buddha never said we come back. So it's one of those things that I don't think about. The Buddha was not a philosopher. Buddha had one task, was to free people from unnecessary suffering. Be like arguing with the fireman who's coming to put out the fire in your house, what kind of hose they're using.
The Buddha's secret.
Yeah, it's just not something I think about. I think you have to do whatever you do as a generous gift and not worry about your karma or your, excuse me, I have to look because some people are waiting for me. I have time for about 2 more questions. Yeah.
I particularly enjoyed the part about introducing your parents and how you weren't so direct and judgmental, but you allowed us to fill in. And when you talked about a 19-inch neck and barrel chest, that helped give them a presence that was also physical.
Well, they appear again and again
picture.
through the book.
And I liked how you just eased into how you introduced your mother, and you had a really nice rhythm. And you noticed the detail and were accepting of the personalities. It was
I'm
a
accepting
really
now.
nice passage. It had a good rhythm to it, and it was lean. It painted a clear picture, and I really enjoyed that. It explained a lot in a small amount of words, which I still struggle with.
Thanks. To be honest, I should say that it's easy to sound wise in hindsight. But I was addicted to heroin for 12 years. So there was a lot of stuff that was going on that I hadn't resolved or taken care of, or it was not so neat and put together. So this is the kind of book that you can write at the end of your life. But I could never have written it when I was in my 30s, for instance.
But it like resonates with an acceptance and not a judgmental labeling.
Well, thanks. I worked at
It really
that.
was sweet.
Thanks.
But it showed the effort, but it was like there was an ease to it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
I thought it was
that.
done well. Thank you.
That's what I worked for. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
I had a question about storytelling.
Yeah.
In your opinion, what constitutes the most important aspect of storytelling to another human being? I guess what does it contribute?
Well, that's a.
Because
To
it
me,
seems to resonate greatly in your life.
Well,
in many aspects.
One thing is, the story has to mean something. It has to have some importance to you. And the other thing is, it has to be transmitted with pungent details that will make it come alive. So, you know, writers are often told, use your senses. What's it smell like? What's it taste like? What's it feel like? What's it sound like? And that gives other people little hooks to hang their understanding on. So I think those two things, that if something's meaningful to you and if you see it in terms of concrete details, it'll make a good story. So I think I have time for one more. Anybody else? I've exhausted you.
No, I'll add one. I'll add a question. I already, but you know, back when these events were occurring, when you were younger, it predated the environmental movement, it predated feminism. But in a way, you know, because you were searching for answers, maybe you had a glimmer that this was coming.
More than a glimmer. There's chapters like the manager of our ranch was an ex-game warden. He was my first hero when I was 6 years old. He was in gunfights with egret hunters. He taught me how to fish and trap and taught me the laws of nature. So all these things surface through the book.
Great.
And really, because my dad was well-to-do and I was privileged, he brought these extraordinary communities to bear. He couldn't do much for me. He was too impatient to be, you know, a careful teacher. But he exposed me to all these people. He was voraciously curious and he was completely unjudgmental and had all people of different races and castes and classes that were very much a part of our life, not just acquaintances. And those people are the core of my mentors in this book. I mean, I had an uncle who was a consigliere for the New York Mafia, you know. Used to take me into New York with him and tell me to stand in the corner and be quiet. So, you know, it was my fate to have these experiences. And I just want to share them.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all. We'll have a signing. If the book ever comes out, we'll have a signing at the next Adobe Books. Thank you all.